Give everything 1 second to get moving. And by that, I mean Zoom. All right, we're on. Doing great. Okay. Vic, are you here? There you are.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Oh, hello. How
Hi.
you
You're
doing?
good. You're wearing my brand colors today.
You like that? I
Appreciate
love I
that.
love a hot pink and a red
I
lip
like
because
that
Leo.
sweater. Listen, I'm into it. I had to put on lipstick because I was like, Vic's gonna show up with the red lip.
I mean, it's kind of
That's what's gonna
classic at this
happen.
point. You know, it's that femme pinup look. What are you up to?
What are you gonna
We
do?
also have
That's
the
what
same
fate
figure. It goes with our hourglass.
brought to you. It's true. All right. That's not what we're here to talk about. We could do some
Are you
sort of
sure?
curvy femme style training sizes 8 to 18 or whatever.
Let's
But,
do
but that's not
it.
what the people came for. Vic and I have been friends
Fine.
for a long time, as you can
Long
maybe
time.
tell by all this back and
Mm-hmm.
forth.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here to talk about a little bit of somatics or give people a little sneak
Woo-hoo.
peek of the training that you're going to be doing later this month. So
Mm-hmm.
I have some questions. You can answer my questions. I'm going to tell people how to get more.
Okay, go.
And then you can shuffle on off to get back
Okay.
to your day. Okay, so let's just talk about how do you even define, first, tell people who you are, other than
Oh,
my
sure.
good old friend.
Oh, hello. Hello, from also fellow curvy girl. Hi, my name is Maria Victoria Albina. I use she, her pronouns. I live on occupied Muncie Lenape territory in the Hudson Valley of New York State. I used to live in Brooklyn near Cara. And I am a functional medicine nurse practitioner by training and also a master certified somatic life coach trained in somatic experiencing and breathwork meditation. And I'm the host of the Feminist Wellness Podcast. And I am a real nerd, like just a nerd for the nervous system. Like, push up your glasses, get cozy.
Get nerdy. All right, so now I'll ask my first question, which
Oh, okay,
is
great.
I feel like
Okay.
the term somatics gets
Mm.
thrown around a lot
Oh my God,
on
drive me
social
crazy.
media.
Drive me bananas.
How do you define somatic?
Sure. So, somatic practices, it's a broad range of therapeutic and self-awareness methods. And it's important that it's both, right? Because we do different things at home on our own and in a therapeutic environment. And they are focused on the soma. Soma comes from the Greek, it means body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the soma and our lived experience living in this human form. So these practices stem from the understanding that mind and body are not separate, but are
Mm-hmm.
deeply interconnected, and we can like throw Descartes and the church the full way under the bus, for teaching us that they were separate. And Descartes, he does nothing good for us. But somatics provide a way for us to reconnect with our bodies. So to
Mm-hmm.
reconnect with sensation and awareness through movement, mindful stillness, breathing practices towards the goal of really addressing the underlying stress, distress, and trauma that have
Mm-hmm.
led us to step out of our authenticity, our intentionality, our agency in the
Mm-hmm.
world, right? And so somatics returns us to, I like to use the word remember, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
reminds, because every baby is born somatically fully present. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you've met one or been one, you
Yeah,
were a baby at some point?
I was a baby. Descartes had nothing on a baby. Babies are not, they're not concerned
Yeah.
about Descartes.
No, they
They're
don't. They
just
really couldn't.
all sensation all the time.
Yeah, right? They have a feeling and they tell you about it. And then we get socialized and trained and conditioned to not tell about it, right? Or to only tell about it in certain ways or only present it in certain ways. And that disconnects us from the wholeness of ourself. And so somatic practices help us reconnect.
Amazing.
Um, one
So
of
can
the,
we, oh,
yeah,
sorry, go
no,
ahead.
no, I could go for hours.
It's like we'll probably get to all the points that you were about to go
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
list.
sure, sure, sure,
So,
sure, forever. Yeah.
but let's talk about in the context of I think inside the clutch and in the kind of
Mm,
cognitive focus coaching I do, the place this comes up the most is sort of people's unwillingness and sort of uneducatedness about like how to even feel a feeling and what that even means.
yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about they've heard me talk ad nauseum, but hear you talk about why is it important to like we're gonna get into like what feel our feelings even is, but
Sure.
why is it important, right, to be able to like why can't we just go through life being like I'll just thought swap up here and I can
Right.
maybe just avoid ever having this feeling that I'm having?
I mean, you can. You can
Why
just
would
do
it maybe
that,
not
but you
serve?
also are walking around like one of those horses in Central Park with the blinders on,
Mhm.
right? You're not seeing the full breadth and depth of human experience.
Mm-hmm.
right? And so when we are feeling our feelings, when we are connected with sensation and have awareness in our bodies, it just makes life so much more better, right? Like and I'm not exaggerating to say the colors are brighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
My joy is so much deeper. My grief is so much deeper, right? But my joy is multiplied by being in touch with the sensation in my body. Also, if you're doing this work, it's because you want your life to be more better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
The
potentially
technical
much
term,
better.
TM, trademarked, more better.
Trade much more better. Much join the club. You'll be much more better. And that's really, I find that our greatest joy, our greatest growth comes when we step into our wholeness. And as humans, we're not just brainses, right? Like you and I have spent many, many years and many a dollar training our brains,
Yeah.
but we actually have bodies for a reason, right? And
yeah, and you numb them both, right? When you try to numb out your negative emotions, you can't experience your positive emotions.
absolutely.
Actually, I'm not sure you even could. I guess some people can, but trying to get through life just shoving down your negative emotions, it's like the earthquakes that are going to come from that, from trying to shove all of that like life force under the ground, are so destabilizing anyway. Um,
right. And
so
yeah.
go ahead. So this is
No,
all
no,
of our
you, go
conversations are
you,
us.
go you. It's so
In
fun.
conversation, we just both talk at the same
At
time,
the exact same
and then
time.
our partners are like, I don't, do you know what they're saying? Right. But
And
trying
they
to do
just kind
one
of
at a,
leave the room and
yeah,
we
they're
meow,
just
meow,
like,
meow,
we'll
meow,
be
meow,
over
meow, meow.
there. Well, but on Zoom, we have to go. We have to take turns.
One at a time. Okay, you.
So one of the things I'd love to hear a little bit about is how, I mean, obviously, as we're discussing, like somatic and feelings practices matter on their own. But I also think like people who come to the clutch because they want to learn to change their thoughts or come and follow my work for that reason, you actually need this part to be able to effectively change your thinking. So you talk a little bit about why that is.
You want me
It's
to talk
nerd
about
time. The
the
science is
medial
coming.
frontal cortex? Okay. So we can work in the neocortex, right? We can work in just in the prefrontal cortex, which is where we do thought work, right? We do cognitive thought work, just working with the executive function part of our brain. And that's great. That's amazing. It does beautiful things. And lasting change happens when we can change the coding of stress, fear, worry within the limbic system using the amygdala, the fear center of the brain, and the medial frontal cortex. So the medial frontal cortex, are you remembering what you got yourself into now?
I know. I'm like, okay, everybody get out your notebook.
You're like, bye. The medial frontal cortex is your watcher, right? So when people say, what is that? What is happening?
I know. I realize I have this weird straw in, but I'm like I have
is
a
that
very
so you
dry
don't
throat.
get like
I don't
little
know. Somebody
lines?
gifted it to me and I just thought it was cute. Oh, is that what it's for?
I think it's so you don't get like smoker's lines from drinking soda. I mean, I think my mate is going to give me smoker's lines.
That's hilarious. This is
I
not a
don't
thing I would have
care.
ever known to look for. Somebody sent it to me and I was
Wow.
like, cute, heart straw. That
Oh,
does make
yeah.
more sense. Anyway,
Right. Anyway, medial frontal
cut that out of
cortex
the replay. What are we talking about? Like,
being your watcher, which is interesting because I was being your watcher.
yes, you're watching me.
So the medial frontal cortex or the watcher, it's our awareness, it's our third eye, use whatever science or woo language lights you up, who cares? And what it legit does is it watches us all day. So it watches how you experience your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own actions. Your CTFAR is being watched inside your brain by a part of your brain. And so that part of your mind is talking to your brain and is making sense of your life. And so when we do thought work, we are activating that part when we do it with kindness. But when we connect in with sensation, we bring that part online, right? We bring the medial frontal cortex online. And this is how somatic experiencing and other somatic practices to treat stress, distress, and trauma work. The medial frontal cortex watches you experiencing your life. And when the sensation you bring in is one of kindness, of love, of caring, it actually re-records the story of your life to feature the sensations of those emotions. Does that make sense? So when the circumstance is, he said words, and your thought is, oh my God, he's the worst, right? He's terrible. Or let's go in a different direction. Nobody loves me. I'm the worst.
Yeah.
And then you just stay up here with it.
Yeah.
You can sort of for a while pretend you have a new thought, but the next time someone says something, you actually haven't changed the cassette tape in the back of your brain. Right. And so the sensorial bodily experience of everyone hates me is going to come right to the fore through the body. You might not have that thought because you've thought swapped, but you're going to have palpitations, you're going to have a bellyache, you're going to have heartburn, your chronic pain is going to flare, you're not going to poop for 3 days, you're only going to poop for 3 days, right? Like you're right.
Take your pick, dealer's choice.
Listen, the world is your oyster, my darling, but it's a bad oyster when you haven't changed the medial frontal cortex understanding of your life. And so what we do by connecting with felt sensation is that next time that he said words, that's your circumstance, your thought, your old thought is everyone hates me. You now have met that with love, right? And by change sensation in the body, by giving the body the space and the energy, the love and the care and compassion to move the energy of he hates me, everyone hates me, you can start to bring a new, a new felt sensation into the physiology, which then gets recorded as the way you respond to that old thought. And so your body doesn't default go to, it goes to, oh, I used to believe that. Wow, it really hurt when I believed that. I can have a lot of compassion for the me that was in so much pain when I believed that. My actual thinking part doesn't tell that story anymore, right? So instead of putting lipstick on that particular pig, you've actually changed the physiologic response. And I don't know about you, but that's some pretty cool science.
That's like this, yes, that is the deep nerd level. I would say for those nerd, which some people listened to and loved, and for anybody who was like, I don't know what half those words mean. I think another in the way this sort of like
helps you be kinder to you.
How's that? Yeah. The layperson way I also describe this is like, if you are not willing to feel your emotions, if you don't know how to feel them safely, essentially, right? You are, anytime an emotion comes up, you're reacting to that emotion with fear, right? And so you are like creating more activation. And when you are activated in that way, you actually can't access the cognitive function you need as well to even change a thought.
Right, of course. So it makes perfect sense. So when the old reaction activates the amygdala in your limbic system, it makes your body literally believe you're being chased by a lion.
Right. And then when you're being chased by a lion, your brain's not like, let's spend some time brainstorming new thoughts, trying them on, seeing how they feel, looking for 10% less shitty. Like you can't use any of the tools because your brain's 0%. Like dead. We're going to be dead. Run. Right.
Run. And fight. Right. So how many of us have a shitty thought about ourselves and then get defensive or then attack our partner or then get snippy with the kids or yell at the dog? Right. Like we go to a mean place because physiology, or we go to completely inauthentic. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Right. And we pull ourselves emotionally completely out of relationship.
Yeah.
Right. When we go to either the attacking place or what's called dorsal freeze, when we disconnect and dissociate.
Yeah.
And that sucks when our goal is to build loving relationship with ourselves and be in loving relationship with everyone in the world.
Yeah. So that was a big picture. Can you give us like an example of sort of a quick win that someone can experience with a somatic technique, like a little preview of what you'll be teaching in the training you're doing?
Yeah. So a quick win is not yelling at the people, right? It seems that, I mean, it's that quotidian of like something pisses you off. Your brain tells you, I'm so pissed. And you're able to feel that anger in your body, ground it, stay with it for a breath, and transmute it. Right. That's
I think happens. I wasn't. That is a quick win. I wasn't clear. I more meant like, is there sort of a bite-sized practice somebody can try? Like,
oh, okay, yeah, sure. So you can take your pause. Let's say you're feeling murderful, right? You're on the subway and someone's like pushing you. Here's your paw, or you're feeling wicked disconnected. We're going to do that one next. You're going to take your paw or both paws. It don't matter. You're going to take your thumb. And if you're feeling murderful, if you're feeling all revved up, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling, oh my God, you're going to tap your first finger and you're going to say one. And so slowly, it's annoying. And you actually want to murder me for teaching you this. You're going to tap your New York finger and say two.
Your New York finger.
That's right. It's fun when sometimes people catch it and often they don't, but I knew you would. Tap your ring finger and say three. And your pinky and say four. And you're going to come back. Four. Three. Breathe. Two. Breathe. One. And the slower you go, and you just keep going until the murder starts to melt. So what we're doing is we're telling our limbic system, the reptile part of our brain, our amygdala, the fear center, when they see patterns and executive function, they know we're not being chased. Right?
So the finger touching is because it's a pattern. That's what helps.
And the counting is to get executive function going. Because people being chased,
counting your breaths can help.
Right. I don't go with counting your breath because I work with a lot of people where their body was the site of trauma. And so going into the body, right, to count the breath can be more activating. Whereas the fingers can kind of take us out of the body, but in enough, it's like this sort of liminal space where it's your body, but you're not like in,
Does this
that can
work
be really
for
helpful.
like anxiety, other kind of activated emotions? So kind of anything where you're trying to bring your activation down.
Yeah. And what's really nice is you can do it at a PTA meeting. Like I'm doing it right here, right?
Your hands don't have to be next to your face. You can do it under the table.
Jazz hands always help, somatically speaking, in my professional board certified opinion. But no, but you can do it like I'm doing it under the table now and nobody knows. You can do it in an argument with your partner. You can do it in an argument with your parent, right? Like you can just do it. And so then the other side of activation is disconnection, is freeze, is check out. If you're like, wait, what? Sorry, we like got into an argument and what did you say? I'm so sorry. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2.
So you're trying to go faster to kind of get your
to rev it up going. And to let your body know it's safe to go faster. It's safe to be active. It's safe to be here. Try that. Work with these practices. People always are like, what do I do in the moment of panic? Well, baby, you do this in the moment of not panic. Right. It's like anything else. Like you don't drive on the freeway the first time you drive. Right. You do it slowly and gently, quickly and gently when you're chill, when you're in ventral vagal, which is a safe and social part of the nervous system, when things are good.
It's like practicing a thought. You should practice this even when before you get revved up.
1,000,000%, because it's going to work, but it works much more better if you've done thought work to connect it. So a big part of what I do when I teach thought work with somatics is we connect a somatic practice, a movement with a new thought. And so then what you're doing is you're creating a neural groove and a neural pathway in the mind, in the prefrontal cortex, and through the soma, through the body. So you're recording it on both levels, right? So then you could pick a new thought like, I don't have to murder today. Right? And I always go ridiculous because it helps this animal, right? But you could, I am a little calmer each time I do this, right? You could sort of sneak up on it. We call that kitten stepping in my world, right? Just a little teeny tiny step towards less murder.
And that's what we're all here for.
Come on now.
Can you give us a last question, then I'll let you go. Okay. Just a little preview of what you'll be teaching in so you're Vic, and I'm going to share with you all more in a minute, but Vic is going to be teaching a bonus training inside the clutch just for clutch members this month. And it's called Practical Somatic Ways to Feel Your Feelings. So they're practical and they're somatic. Can you give us a little overview of kind of what you'll be teaching?
Yeah. So we'll do a quick nerd. Yes, there will be slides. I will show you how this whole nervous system activation thing happens, because there's a lot of confusion in the like hashtag reset your nervous system
infographic world of Instagram.
Woo! Yeah, you can't reset it. It's not, a broken VCR. And I'm showing my age there.
Is that why it has been working? I just keep pressing like reset.
Oh yeah, reset. I know, it's weird, right? Yeah, Instagram misled you shockingly. But we're gonna do some science. Don't worry. This is my world is explaining science in simple ways. There will be simple slides. You will have time for understanding it. And then we're going to jump into doing. So we're going to talk about the postures that happen when we spend a lifetime walking on eggshells, like most of us socialized as women do, living in the patriarchy, humans living in marginalized, racialized bodies. We live walking on eggshells. So we're going to play with that posture, get familiar with that posture, because it's a lot scarier when you don't know that you're living there. Right, to be confronted with it. So when we can find comfort in it, when we can practice working with it together, it's a lot less scary when we get activated. So we're going to work with that posture. And then we're going to do really practical things like 1, 2, 3, 4, so that you murder fewer people this holiday season. So you have an easier time in your life. And yeah, so your thought work can go deeper and deeper and deeper because you're connected with your body in beautiful ways.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to see you
Thank
for Thanksgiving. So
you.
I'll see you
I
next
can't
week.
wait. See you next Thursday. Thanks for
And I'm
having
going to
me.
share a little bit more about once Vic is going to leave us, but I'm going to share a bit about
Ciao.
bye Vic about what we're going to be doing with Vic and otherwise inside the clutch. Let me just make sure I'm sharing. Oh my goodness. No, that is not what we want. You'd think I'd never done this before. Okay. Here we go. All right. So Vic's training is called Practical Somatic Ways to Feel Your Feelings. This is available inside the clutch this month in November. It's going to be right after Thanksgiving. And we talked a little bit about this, and Vic does such an amazing job with the nerd science. I want to explain a little bit from the kind of coaching side why feeling your feelings is so important. What I love about Vic's work is that it actually teaches us how to feel our feelings, because that's like a phrase that goes all around Instagram and nobody knows what it means, right? I was told that by therapists and didn't know what it meant. So those somatic practices are how you can feel your feelings, right? That's how you can process your emotions. Anything you want in life is on the other side of those feelings, right? Anything you're trying to create, anything you're trying to go after, anything you're trying to achieve, anything you're trying to feel, for sure, right? The key to any goal is the feeling that's between you and the goal, whether that's anxiety, whether that's shame, whether that's insecurity, whether that's sort of disbelief that you can do it, which is sort of, a form of fear, like whatever it is that you are not creating or achieving in your life that you want, there's a feeling in between you and that thing. And you can't skip the feeling. We can and need to change our thoughts, and changing our thoughts will change our feelings. But the way that we have to do this is by being able to turn down the intensity on the feelings we sort of already have. If you are afraid to post on social media, but you want to promote your business, if you're not even willing to acknowledge that fear or experience it, just trying to change your thought to get rid of it won't work. Because as I just talked about with Vic, when you have that fear about showing up on social media and then you just try to skip it or run through it with your hands over your eyes, get through it, get away from it, you're actually telling your brain, hey, this feeling is dangerous. And then your brain responds with that activation, right? That anxiety, it ratchets up the fear. And then you literally can't access your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that can do thought work as well. So the simplest explanation of it is that even though, yes, changing your thoughts will change how you feel, you actually can't change your thoughts if you're not willing to go through and experience the feeling that you're having. What usually happens is a feeling starts to come up and we don't want it and we try to get away from it. We try to numb it out, or we learn about thought work and we try to change the thought immediately. Either way, you're telling your brain this feeling's a problem, we shouldn't have it, and that's actually stressing you out and making it harder to change it. So the key to any growth you want is the feelings that get in the way of you expanding and evolving, right? It's the feelings you're not willing to have, the feelings of discomfort or fear or anxiety or guilt or shame or grief or whatever other emotion is in between you and the thing that you want. And the key to feeling better is processing and releasing those negative emotions. And we're not supposed to all feel good all the time. But for sure, ironically, when we are not willing to feel our feelings, we're trying to avoid feeling bad. We're like, maybe I could just put those in a closet for a while. They don't really go away and they just kind of grow and fester inside the closet. So it feels paradoxical, but the way to feel better is actually to get good at feeling bad. And then you end up feeling better. So that's why we all need these tools, practical somatic ways to feel our feelings, your feelings, right? So we can move through the feelings and into whatever we do want to experience next. That's why this work is so crucial, this element of it. So that training is only available inside the clutch. So you all learned something new from Vic today, which is amazing. And if you want more of that, she is going to be teaching this training inside the clutch. So what is the clutch for those of you who are newer to this work? To me, the clutch is a coaching program that combines feminist philosophy with professional coaching frameworks. So it helps you reduce your anxiety, which is, I would say, the number one emotion that people come work with me for. Vic talked a lot about anger, and totally some of us feel very angry, and for understandable reasons sometimes. But I would say that most people coming to me, it's anxiety, it's stress, right? That's what it's worry. Those are all forms of anxiety. That's really what they're feeling the most. That was my predominant feeling before I learned how to change my thinking, was just kind of fucking constantly feeling anxious, like low level all the time. Something's probably wrong with me or something. And then with a lot of spikes whenever, like, I thought someone might be mad at me, or I got bad feedback at work, or somebody didn't want to go on another date, or I didn't hear back from someone, or whatever. So by learning how to connect to the body to reduce that anxiety was crucial. And then I was able to change my thoughts to increase my confidence and to achieve any goal you want. For me, that's been, a multiple 7-figure coaching business that is able to employ 12 women with amazing jobs, finding my partner who I'm now engaged to, writing my first book, which is coming out in May. I mean, making peace with my body after years and years of dieting, making peace with my family, so many outcomes. But all of them, I had to go through that anxiety and learn to tolerate it better and to kind of be able to release it in order to change the thoughts. So inside the clutch, we coach you as much or as little as you need. You can get coached every single day. You can get coached once a month, depending on what you like and what you need. That's as much or as little as you need to move through those challenging emotions and support you in that. It's hard when you've never done it before. Your brain thinks you're going to die. You're not going to die from feeling your emotions, but your brain thinks you might. So having that support is crucial. Being able to have a community of people all over the world who are always available to support, being able to look up any coaching question you have and get an answer immediately from our library, or submit to a coach and always get that question answered, or even to get coached live on a call if you want. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but the point is that support is always there for you. In the first 30 days, you're going to learn how to handle any emotion that comes up for you. And you're going to get to learn this in multiple ways. You're going to learn it through the Feminist Mindset Fix, which is the first month course that you do in the clutch, where I teach you my techniques and tools for how to process and kind of relieve emotional intensity. And if you're joining today, you're also going to get Vic's training, which will happen in your first 30 days in the clutch. And then you're going to have so many additional bonus somatic tools to help you with your negative emotions. And then you're going to be able to increase your positive emotions as well. On the other side of your feelings is that life that you really want, right? You can use the clutch for hitting your goals. You can use it for support with every problem that comes up. I think all of our lives are kind of on two tracks. There's like the big stuff that we're trying to do that we want to create. It's like our proactive self. And then there's the self that's like getting derailed, trying to get through the day, right? That's like things come up, challenges come up, we start to falter, we get afraid, we feel sad, whatever it is, right? So the clutch is really there for both of those things. It's both to support you when you're having a hard time, something comes up that you weren't expecting or that you were expecting that's hard, and for that bigger picture, brighter vision of you and where you're going. So it's all, we hold all of you in that way, which I think is really special. When you join the clutch, you get there's live group coaching calls every week. We have an on-demand anonymous coaching question forms called Ask the Coaches. Every single question gets an answer, no matter what. We have specialized courses once you've learned to deal with your feelings and to reduce their intensity and how to actually change your thinking. You can then dive deep on different topic areas like sex and relationships, money mindset, your nervous system, self-confidence, kind of healthy habits, eating and movement. There's a course for kind of every big topic in women's lives. We've got a private library of exclusive coaching answers. This is thousands of answers, written and audio, that you can search. So you can just type in like boss is mad or unexpected breakup or whatever else, and you're going to be able to learn from all the coaching that's already been done on those topics. There's opportunities for one-to-one coaching if you want to invest with a one-to-one coach to really accelerate your progress. And we have an optional Facebook group. We have a beautiful membership site where all the learning happens, but the optional Facebook group is like our hangout. And there's an incredible community of women from all over the world who are really welcoming, friendly, and smart, and all working on the same work together. And all of that is just $97 a month, which, especially given the world right now, is an incredible deal. I think that's about what I spent on dinner in New York for two last night. And even if you live in a cheaper place, just think about the things that you spend $97 a month on that don't actually solve your emotional problems long term, right? That Target shopping haul that feels good in a moment, but doesn't really last, right? If you drink or kind of use drugs to numb yourself out, to avoid those negative emotions, like there's so many ways that we kind of steal from ourselves, not just financially, but emotionally, and steal our presence from our lives. And what coaching is really about, you heard Vic say, and I believe it's about that kind of intentionality and presence, like being alive in your own life, the way that sort of nature allows, but that society fucks up. So you can join now and you will get access to Vic's training. If you can't attend live, you can watch the replay. So you've got it either way. You can watch as many times as you want. As you saw, she's a real hoot, but also a little brainiac. And she's going to really take your somatic and kind of physical practice so much deeper. So that is the practical somatic ways to feel your feelings. You're going to learn more about why somatic tools are crucial. What I love about Vic's work is, like, if you want to nerd out, she's going to teach you all the science. But if you are confused by or don't care about the science, you're also going to learn really practical somatic tools like we just did. Right. So some of you want both of those things. Some of you want just one of those things. But no matter whether you want to nerd out or you just want to know what can you do, right? That finger trick she taught us, you're going to learn that in practical somatic ways to feel your feelings. And that is only available inside the clutch. So that is why you're going to want to join today, to make sure that you get access to it. So if you're kind of wondering if you should join now, is this for you? If any of these feel resonant, like they sound like I'm describing you, then now's the right time to join. If you've been trying to change your thoughts and it's not working, I can tell you that the number one reason it's not working is that you are not able to kind of process and move through your emotions. You're kind of freaking out about your own emotions, and that's blocking your prefrontal cortex from doing the work correctly. If you get really easily derailed by anxiety or guilt or worry, if those emotions come up for you a lot and they're disrupting your life, this somatic work is going to be really important for you. If you have goals you want to go after, but you feel afraid or paralyzed when you try, and listen, this includes you if you're like, yeah, I want to do this. I'd like to have a show of my paintings. I'd like to start a roller derby rink business. I'd like to date. I'd like something you say you want to do, but you just keep not doing it. And it keeps getting moved back. And you're always telling yourself, it's like, I just haven't had time. I've been so busy, whatever else. It's because there's an emotion in your way. Those are the cover story. There is an emotion blocking you from that goal you want to go after. And so you've got to figure out what that is and be able to clear it. Or if your stress is burning you out, if you feel exhausted and run down and overwhelmed, this is all caused by not being able to kind of resolve that stress response in your body and not being able to process your emotions. So when you join right now, you're going to get instant access to the Feminist Mindset Fix, which is that first month course we do where you will learn some tools right away for how to process your emotions and how to change your thoughts. You can get coached right away. You don't have to have done the coursework to get coached. You can come in and get coached immediately. And you will get enrolled and get the replay for the practical somatic ways to feel your feelings training. So this is the link to join now. Whoops. And Anna has put it in the chat, I'm sure, already. And if you've got questions, I'm happy to answer those. If you've got questions about the clutch, let me know. And let me end sharing this so I can see you guys. Okay. Let me sort of a couple of questions we always get that I will answer while folks are putting in questions if they have them. How much time do you need? Oh, where did my little, oh, Was that Anna? That might have been Anna coming on. How much time do you need? And you can just drop questions in the chat to me. And we've got the link in the chat. So how much time do you need in the clutch? We've really designed it so that it's very flexible, because here's the thing. Some people come in and they're like, I'm really focused on this right now. I have a lot of time right now for whatever reason, and I really want to spend a lot of time on this right now. And so you can do the courses, you can get coaching, you can be in the Facebook group. There's like lots of elements for you to do. And then some people are like, I'm in a really busy area, like period of my life right now, and I just need some quick, fast help. And those people might not even get to the first course for a while. They might just want to go into our Ask the Coaches forum and just drop a question for coaching. Like they don't even have time right now to do a course. They just want the coaches to help them figure out how to stop yelling at their kids when they're stressed out. Beautiful. That's great, right? The clutch has all of these different ways to learn, whether you like to listen to audios, do a worksheet, right? Do that kind of more traditional, like academic type of learning, or whether you really learn interactively. You don't even really want to read a course or listen to it. You just want to be able to ask a coach and get advice, or anywhere in between. So it is really, it's valuable no matter how much time you have to spend on it, is really the answer. And I think the biggest misconception is that people come in and they think they're supposed to like do everything. Nobody could do everything. I can't do everything in the clutch. It's like a library. You don't walk into a public library and be like, well, I got to read everything in here. No, you walk in, you pick up the book you need. You read, right? If you're looking up a question about, I don't know, rock sediment, you go to just the book on the section on geology and you just look at that book, you get your answer. That's what the clutch is like. Let's see. Got other? All right. Have any other questions? Someone said wants clarity on how that first month course works. Yes. So the feminist mindset fix is the first month course everybody does together. Not together, I'm sorry. Everybody does that first. That's where you learn. There's 4 different kind of concepts and tools you need to learn in there. So there's multiple audio lessons and a worksheet for each one. So it's a full month of material on how to learn to process your emotions, how to recognize the thoughts you're having and kind of trace how they are impacting your life, because we're mostly not really aware of that. And then how to change your thoughts and actually believe a new thought, practice it, etc. After that, you can unlock a new course each month. But there's a lot of the site that's a lot of our kind of resources are all, everything else is available to you. Each course, sorry, I'm not speaking clearly. I just went in a little circle. You can unlock a new course every month. But everything else that I've talked about, like your ability to search all the previous coaching that people have gotten by keyword and topic, your ability to get coaching yourself, written or on a live call, the Facebook group, all of that is available immediately. And when you join, we actually have a little section that's always available immediately. That's called kind of SOS. It's like for urgent times, like when something comes up, right? Because if somebody joins, then like the week after that, they get broken up with, or someone passes away, or something really hard happens, I always want them to like have that support immediately. Or if you're coming in with that, if you're coming in because you're going through something really hard, right? Yes, you want to learn long-term how to change your thoughts and feelings, but you maybe need extra support while something's hard right away. And so that kind of module, it's not exactly a course, it's more like a set of audios and a webinar and a bonus webinar, and sort of resources are available for you right away when you join. Somebody asked how it's different from the podcast, which is a great question. Some of you are here because you've listened to my podcast. I am so proud of that podcast, and it has, I think we're at 300 and something episodes, like 314, 324. There's a lot of episodes of the podcast. I've been doing it since I started this work, like maybe a year after I started my business, like 7 years ago. So there's so much value in the podcast, and it's not organized in any way, right? And it's more like a geological layer of my work as it's evolved over the years, and not organized in any particular way. And it's not interactive, and you can't get support and help. And it doesn't have these, like the exercises that you can do yourself. So the podcast is a beautiful resource and I'm so glad I get to offer it for free. But when you really want to take this work to the next level, you need the clutch, because the clutch is, I mean, the podcast would be like if you took all the books from the library, some of which are also outdated, but you would just put them all in a field and then you just had to like wander around and try to find what you were looking for. When you join the clutch, you're getting my most cutting edge work, my newest work, my most powerful work, and it's all systematized, condensed, and streamlined to be as effective in as little time as possible. So you're going through a actual structured experience that teaches you not just how to like listen to me and try to apply, but it's designed in the format of here's how you do this, right? Here's a concept, and then here's how you can apply that concept. Here's an exercise, here's a workbook, here's the exact questions to ask yourself, right? Here's the exact process to follow. And you can get help, right? You can always ask the coaches for help. You can get coached by me or one of my clutch coaches on a call. So you have all of that support that you obviously can't get on the podcast. Somebody asked sort of how I'm involved. The clutch is my baby. I coach live every month. I created all of the curriculum, everything in there, other than the coaching answers some of the clutch coaches provide, of course. I created all the courses. I created all the private podcasts that are inside. I trained all my clutch coaches by hand. So the clutch coaches do the kind of written coaching answers and they lead some of the live calls, but I created all of that content and I do live calls every month, a couple of them. What else? I think that's about what we need. I know I want to be cognizant of time. Anything else? Oh, great question. I'm so sorry I did not explain this. Someone asked, is it a year commitment? But there's no commitment. It is a month by month. You get to decide. I always want people to kind of graduate themselves when they feel ready. So it really depends on what you want to accomplish, what you want to experience. And we have the whole gamut. Some people come in for like 3 months and they're like, that's good. I learned the basics. I feel good, or whatever. Some people have been in there for years because they love the community. To them, it's like going to the gym. It's like they're always going to pay for the gym because they go to the gym every month. They're always going to be in the clutch because it's like the gym for their brain. So it's always up to you. You graduate yourself when you feel ready, when you feel like, you've accomplished what you came in for, you've gotten the results you want, you've learned the tools and skills. I tried to make that one word, the tools and skills that you want or need, and you are ready to graduate yourself. And then you can, because all of my work is about empowering you, right? I want you to be empowered to take care of yourself, to make your own decisions. I never want anyone to feel like they're dependent on me. And I would never sort of want someone to feel, it's not for me to decide how long you need to do this work. That's for you to decide. I just want to empower you to make your life better on your own terms. That's what all of this work is about. All right, my friends, remember that if you want to be able to join Vic's training, we want to join now so that you are in time. You get the information for the live training will get sent to you. You get the replay, which you'll have as long as you're in the clutch, and you can get started on the feminist mindset fix. This was not the topic of this call, but I know where a lot of us are going home for Thanksgiving next week, and that can be really stressful. And I will say that the first topic I worked on was family and family stuff. And it made a huge difference in my life. Learning how to have the emotions I had about my family and then change my thoughts about them has really changed those relationships. So if you're kind of dreading the holidays, this is the best time to get into the clutch and do some prep work so that when you go home, you feel empowered and in control of how you feel, any boundaries you want to set, whatever it is, and you're not going into it just dreading the experience. All right, my friends, happy Friday. Have an amazing weekend. I'll see some of you in the clutch.